Oh, this I have to answer.
I'm curious. This is the best question.
Yeah, I'm glad you're giving me this platform to talk about it.
My pleasure. Welcome to Women in Design. I am Yashvi Thakkar, and today at A Wooden Story we have with us Priyanka Shah and Nirja Shah, the founders of Aloft Design Studio. Welcome Priyanka and Nirja. It's an honor to have you today.
Hi Ashvi, happy to be here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Nirja and I have pursued my Bachelor of Architecture from Vadodara Design Academy. Then I moved to Ahmedabad and worked with Indigo Architects. I worked for 2 years in Indigo Architects, and then I shifted to Vadodara and I found this Aloft Design Studio. It was a woman-led design firm, so I found it interesting and I started working with them. Currently, I am an architect, a principal architect, and a partner in Aloft Design Studio.
Okay. So, what other roles do you play?
There are many duties to run the studios. Basically, what interests me is doing technical drawings, technical details, and maybe I really like to make 3Ds of interior design.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and she's excellent at it.
Thank you.
Priyanka, Nirja joined you after one or approximately 2 years after you founded your firm,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
would you like to tell us the journey about you? How did you founded this company?
Yeah, sure. Interesting question. I've come a long way. So I
Definitely.
studied my I studied my bachelor's from Arvind Bhai Patel Institute of Environmental Design in Vallabh Vidyanagar, and after that I worked for a year with Dipen Gada and Associates.
Okay.
Then I did my master's from Sheffield University in the UK, and I did really well, and I was very inspired by my professors over there. So I thought, let me just come and teach here. So I started teaching first at APID, my own undergrad college, something to kind of give back, to the
Yes, to the society.
to the society, to the
Yes.
school that has helped me grow.
Okay.
And after that, I worked for a year as an assistant professor at Navrachna University.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I decided to take a little break after my mom passed away. And then it so happened that one of my friends was thinking of starting her own design practice. And she had come to meet me, and we had worked together earlier at Dipen Gada Associates, Miss Shruti Desai. And she told me, you know what, let's just partner together. I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Definitely.
So within 1 week, we had found our office space. We had started
Wow.
working on the interior design,
Very fast.
and like within 2 weeks, we had founded our studio. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was our journey. And after about a year, Nirja joined us,
Okay.
and now Miss Shruti Desai has her own practice, Studio Minim in Ahmedabad, after her marriage.
Wow.
And now Nirja is my partner.
Wow.
So that's my journey.
Very wonderful, actually.
Thank you.
You just mentioned about your UK education, right?
Correct.
So,
Yes.
how was your college, your learnings, everything you would like to share?
Yeah, sure. So, fortunately, I've had, amazing professors no matter where I've studied. Like in my undergrad, I had Mr. Percy Pithawala, Mr. Salil Bhatt, who are well-known architecture tutors, and they have this real passion for design.
Okay.
Similarly, in my UK master's degree, I had a professor called Mr. Andreas Lang,
Okay.
and he's also a very well-known architect in London.
Okay.
And their passion for design really helped me enhance my creativity
Okay.
for the subject. And of course, after that, working with I've also worked at Talib Patel Associates and Dipen Gada Associates both. So that helped me channel my creativity into my business.
Yes,
So yeah, so I've had amazing learnings all throughout my life, which I'm really grateful for.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Were there any childhood experiences related to this field?
Yeah, actually. So there's this one instance where which kind of shaped my destiny. My cousin sister, Mrs. Ruti Patel, she's a interior designer and partner at D Science Synergy. So one time when I was studying in school, I was probably like 15, 16 or something, and she was working on her interior design presentation sheets for her jury. And she called me up and she's like, please, I need help, just come. And I went to her place, and the whole night I was just coloring her sheets. And I thought, wow, this is so exciting. This is fun, you know, creative fields are always fun.
Yes.
And I consider myself also to be a creative person, arguably. So that was one instance which stood out for me, like, okay, this is a line which I should pursue. So not exactly interior design, but yeah, I studied architecture. Yeah.
You surely would be enjoying the whole journey of yours.
Yeah, I love it, absolutely. No regrets.
Wow. Nirja, few minutes back you just said about that you found this firm very interesting. So would you like to tell us about Aloft Design Studio?
When I joined Aloft Design Studio, they both were doing fantastic projects. Like they were they were not only into the residential and commercial, but they were doing some lawyer's office, some flower shop, and there was a project of a restaurant, Adi Ityadi. So I found it very interesting, and I decided to join them.
Okay.
So now Aloft Design Studio, as I am a part of it, we are a small scale studio, and we believe in simple, timeless and modern style of design. Over the period of time, we have developed a strong team of agencies who take care of our drawings and help us in execution.
Okay.
And that way the execution gets faster. So that is very important part of the design process and execution process, that agencies should know and should understand what we have drawn, what we want to execute.
Okay.
And we have done multiple projects, and currently we are working on 3 projects.
Oh,
Yeah.
simultaneously. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So
We are superwoman.
Definitely.
We've had to add to what you're saying, we've had the good fortune of having very different typology of projects.
Project,
Like
yes.
she mentioned, like we were working on a flower shop. It was near the Shoppe. We were doing restaurant. We've done multiple offices. But all these offices have also been very different in the type of work that is going on. Like one was a finance office, another was a law firm. Then a third office was, which we completed recently, was a company that does like digital media advertising, a very young firm. So the language of all these projects has been very different for us. Yeah. So there is no scope for like boredom at any point. Yeah.
You do have many fields experience.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Priyanka, when Nirja joined you, you were the only founder. She was knowing with Shruti, right?
Correct.
So why you both decided to name this company as Aloft?
Yeah, so there's a very interesting story behind that.
I'm curious.
The office that we started working in is a loft space. The space which is directly below a roof is called a loft.
Okay.
So that is how we started in a very small design studio. So that is one meaning. And the other meaning, the literal meaning of the word aloft is something which has taken flight. And we thought, okay, our designs will be the ones which will be soaring above everybody.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's the reason we called ourselves Aloft Design Studio.
What a wonderful story.
Thank you.
Nirja, are there any design styles of yours?
Yes, absolutely. We had, if we had to choose the design style of ours, we would love to choose contemporary.
Okay.
Because since we have started designing for the clients and we have started practicing, we got the clients who want some fresh ideas with fresh designs. So उनके लिए हम contemporary design style ज़्यादा पसंद करते हैं. So and if we get a chance to do some other design style, we would love to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are talking about designing. So
Correct.
Priyanka, would you please explain any space designing process?
Sure. So we have kept this one policy that no matter what the project, what the site, the very first thing we do is go visit the site. even if it is 2 hours away from here, we will we'll do a survey around the site. Even if it is an interior design project, we check what is happening in the surroundings, what is the view we are getting through the windows. We check all the cardinal directions and any site limitations if there are any, wind direction, geographical directions, etc. And after that, it might sound very cliched, but there's a very raw, intuitive feeling of what this space is calling out to be. We do try to make our spaces, any space, as clutter-free as possible, avoiding unnecessary paneling and all that. So there is a very, it's a very raw intuition that kind of guides our design process.
Okay. Wonderful. Priyanka, what are the strengths in this field?
So like I mentioned earlier, like we get very different kinds of projects of different natures, and each challenge for every project is unique. Like there are no two projects which have the same problems happening, So the ability of any architect to adapt their skill set to suit that particular typology of project, that would be the biggest strength in this field.
Okay. Nirja, would you like to share about any project which you found interesting?
Yes. So basically, all of the projects what we have done, I found it very interesting. But the most the most heart touching and interesting, and we have done our best in what we have done recently, a commercial project. As she said, we have done a project of advertisement
and marketing
marketing digital. So in that we have used different elements to showcase the office space. So first starting with the flooring, we have used epoxy flooring in that, and epoxy flooring is in all of
the entire office.
In the entire office. So when we enter the office, there is a passageway in which we have done a dark epoxy flooring, and which enhances their and reflect their company branding. So that is a good
point
element.
which you will be considering. Yes.
So the another is a logo. So we have done a deconstructive logo in different frames and in different materials. All of them have a different kind of lights in that. So that is being a focal point of a design. And when we enter, we see the logo in our front side. Right. So the another most interesting one is a parametric ceiling. So we had a 32 feet by 8 feet passageway from which we are entering in the different
office space.
Office space. It was very interesting because we had to done in a lighter material, and we need to showcase some creativity. And not a blank space. We cannot. So that was a key factor of this project. Parametric ceiling.
But you did exceptionally well, I guess.
Yeah. So there are very few projects, where you get to experiment or do something different, something new. So our client was like a really young chap, and he wanted something fresh and new. So he said, okay, just let's do a parametric ceiling. And that is how the idea came about. In fact, that was like the selling point for us to kind of get into this project. Yeah, so that was fun.
Okay. Priyanka, I would like to know that what is the difference between a professional and an unprofessional architect?
Oh, this I have to answer.
I'm curious.
This is the best question.
Yeah, I'm glad you're giving me this platform to talk about it.
My pleasure.
So there is an ecosystem created by unprofessional architects where they tie up with vendors and agencies and take commission from them, and that helps them charge less fees to the client. So the client thinks, okay, they are doing this for such a reasonable rate, so I should give them the project. And architects like us who maintain transparency in terms of, okay, this is our fees, and then there is no like going back to the vendors or the agencies and you know, taking commission from them. So it's a little difficult, you know, in such an environment created by unprofessional architects. However, luckily in one or two instances, we've had clients kind of coming back from, you know, those working with those architects, because they were just interested in quantity over quality. And yeah, but yeah,
They just started work on the site and didn't show any drawings or any 3Ds or anything.
yeah, that is a particular instance actually. That was a complaint raised by the client, that they just, you know, started telling the carpenter, okay, do this, do that, and the client said, but where is the design? Show me the design first. Yeah, so that is pretty unprofessional. What we like to do in our practice is, you know, create an entire booklet of working drawings even before we execute anything on site. So there is total transparency, not only in terms of, you know, the fees that we charge, but also in terms of how much the overall project would cost, and also what is the executed design actually gonna look like.
Also,
Yeah.
I want to add into this that we ask client if they have any vendors or agencies, they can provide us. We
Yeah.
can work with them.
Yeah.
So that makes this
There is
process
a
transparent.
flexibility in your
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no tie-up that we have with any, whatever suits the project, we go to that vendor, we take the material from there. Yeah, that is what we try to maintain.
Okay. You just
Yeah.
mentioned about the booklet. So
Correct.
what things are included in that?
The entire, the basic would be the layout of the space. That would be the first. Then there would be a 3-dimensional view of the spaces, what they would actually look like. Then it would come down to, you know, electric drawings,
Technical
plumbing drawings,
drawings.
technical drawings
Okay.
basically. Yeah. So the
Series
entire
of
booklet
drawings.
of correct,
So
entire
you give to
booklet.
that client to review.
The client or even the agencies and
Okay.
you know vendors, they can
That
easily
makes
take
our,
out.
That makes our work easier.
Okay.
The flow
definitely.
goes
Yeah.
on.
Then you don't have to rework every time. On certain
Yeah,
things.
not just rework, but also you know, all projects come with a certain deadline, like okay, finish this in 3 months. That is only possible if all the agencies kind of work together.
Yes.
And that only happens if we are clear from our side, the client has given the decisions from their side. So in that case, this booklet helps. This is actually a system which I learned working at Dipen Gada Associates. He's very disciplined about all this stuff. And yeah, thank you, Dipen sir.
Nirja, other than this, what is the topmost challenge in this field?
So there are many challenges in this field, but no matter how good designer you are or how good design you make, but there is one thing: if there is no skilled laborers, and if your design doesn't speak to
Clients.
to clients
Correct.
and to agencies who are working with us, is very challenging.
Okay.
So.
They should be able to execute the project well. You know, it's
The way
design,
you have
not just
Yeah.
you know looking good on paper, but actually on site it should look the same
वो भी
way.
अच्छा
So that communication skill, I think,
That
when
is
your
the
drawing
main
speaks
point,
for
yes.
itself, that is like the topmost challenge.
okay.
Yeah.
Priyanka, I am pretty much sure that there would be many type of customers out
Correct.
there.
Yes.
So, would you like to make comparison between any two?
Yeah, sure. So I'll tell you about two extremes of customers that we get.
Please.
Like one type of customers are the ones who are absolutely certain, like okay, I want this color, this
Okay.
texture, this material,
Okay.
everything. And then there are other extreme of clients who are absolutely clueless. They don't know what they want to do. So yeah, so those are the two extremities of clients we get.
Okay, so how do you tackle them, the two extremes?
So we've recently found like a good way to tackle these kind of clients
Okay.
is give them some samples, as many samples as possible, so that they get a feel of the material, they get a look of the material. You know, sometimes these clients who are very sure that okay, this is what I want, this is what I want, they have seen some images on Pinterest or somewhere, but it might not actually look good in their space. So once we take them, you know, to the vendors, even if they are crying like, no, we are tired, we don't want to go, we just drag them. No, please come, and we make them select. Okay,
Okay.
see, this is what you were saying.
Okay.
Then once they see it, they feel it, they touch the material, then they are like,
Okay.
okay, no, we'll listen to what you have to say.
Okay.
And these clients who, you know, who don't know at all what they want, we usually ask them to come in groups. Like if there is a residence, we ask both the husband and wife to come
Okay.
along. And then they kind of make a decision. They fight a lot also in between themselves. But
So
then
you are the
they-
judge over there.
we are the neutral party.
Okay.
Yeah, so we give them some options. Okay, see, this would look good, this would look
Okay.
good, and then they ultimately they
Mutually
can decide.
decide,
Yeah,
okay.
so that is a clever way that we found out.
We suggest them that this will look good. We give them the options, and then they select.
Yeah, like sampling as much as possible.
Wow. Transparency from the beginning.
Yes.
We are talking about clients, so let's discuss about more. So, do you like if your client researches beforehand?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so when client researches beforehand, then that is a good part because they know what they want from that design. But sometimes what happens, they show us some images. It's like
Non-practical usually.
it's like Photoshop images
Okay.
or
Yeah.
maybe some not practical images.
Yeah.
So then that includes in their budget. It's difficult.
Okay.
It's like reality versus
Expectations.
expectations.
Yes. So they have to they have to keep in mind about that budget.
Correct.
Also,
Yeah.
usually choices are much
Yeah.
higher.
Lot of images on the internet are edited, Photoshop. Like we found an image where there was a glass sliding door, and the glass sliding door did not have a frame or anything. It was just the glass, and on the edited image it looked really good. But actually, it's not
not
practical.
possible.
It's not possible to
There
do
was
it.
no shadow. No.
It was hanging by
Reflection.
it was reversing the laws of gravity, that glass.
Okay, wow. Nirja, we are already talking about clients, so I'm curious to know about this, that how clients' age affects your design style.
So we got different clients, different age group of clients, and till now when we are practicing. So talking about children, they love to have their room so colorful, bright, and airy. Sometimes they have to study in their room, and then they might have to sleep in the same room. So for the study, they will like to have their room light, proper light and ventilation.
Okay.
And if we talk about the elder ones, they need their
Room to
be neutral, in a
Yes.
neutral shade. Their tapestry should be like एकदम smooth चाहिए उनको सब.
अच्छा.
तो ऐसा सब.
और थोड़ा lights भी कम
हाँ,
होनी चाहिए, which is
And
comfortable
also,
sleeping. Yes.
they also want puja room or maybe a puja corner in their room.
Okay.
So that is a extreme
Different choices of the
client.
clients
हाँ,
and
and
Okay. Customers do praise and sometimes criticize, right,
Correct.
Priyanka?
Yes.
So how do you deal with criticism?
We get a lot of praise.
Wow.
luckily.
Luckily, yeah.
Yes, by seeing your work, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you. Criticism, yes, it does come, and our education system, our architecture education system has really prepared us for that. Like we have a jury system. I don't know if you are aware of it.
Could you please make me aware?
Sure. So jury system basically works like you have practicing architects coming to your school, your undergrad college, and giving you comments and criticisms on your design. Like you have to present your work every week, your design studio work every week, and every week they give you some kind of feedback, and you have to take it and rework on your design.
That would be only negative feedbacks or
No.
neutral?
It would be both. No, not neutral for sure. Yeah, but we have found that criticism is actually crucial for growth.
Yes.
Yeah, and our jury system has prepared us to take that kind of criticism. So we do take clients' comments seriously, and if they are not happy about something, maybe even after a year of the design, even then we try to like help it out. For example, one of our office projects, the client said that this is a glass cabin and my voice is kind of traveling outside. So can you just help me out with this? I don't know what to do. So we worked out a system of sound absorbing kind of panels, and we helped them even after a year. We didn't say okay, no, project is over. तुम अपने रास्ते, हम अपने रास्ते. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just mentioned about praise and proud. So were there any proud moments for your company?
Yeah. So one moment which stands out is really the design for a safe box which we did during the Vadodara Street Furniture Camp in 2018. 2018. So basically, we had to use scrap metal, which is just lying around in the scrapyard in Baroda.
Yes,
There's a lot of steel and metal over there, which is just unused. So the VMC thought that okay, why not have architects and designers from the city come and do something creative with this.
Okay.
So there were a lot of participants, but ultimately I think 10 or 12 designs were chosen. 10 or 12.
Even after
yeah.
that, the circles were made out of that scrap.
Yeah, so that was
That
the
was
earlier camp. That was
Okay.
the sculpture camp or something. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That was done by art students.
Okay.
yeah. So our design was a safe box, which was basically
Oh.
at that time there were some issues related to safety of women on the street.
Okay.
So we decided to tackle that social cause, of safety. So our design, which has, if a woman is fearing her life, it would be put in like derelict corners of the city. If a woman is fearing her life, she can run and like lock herself inside and press an alarm and call the police. And they would come and help her. And there was also an outer layer of skin, so nobody can actually like do anything with it. The woman would be safe. Yeah. So that got a lot of interest among the media and all, and we got some news coverage. We got some videos made. Thanks to Priyank, we got that opportunity to do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to know that what drives your design decisions.
A lot of the times, it is the budget of the client. Almost all the time.
The end point of everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like we wouldn't use luxury finishes for an economical budget kind of a project. Yeah. So that is one of the main factors.
Clients usually ask about many things, right? So, Nirja, would you like to tell me that how do you use Vastu as a concept in your designs?
So, Vastu has a scientific factor.
Okay.
Vastu relates to the scientific reasons and practical reasons also. So, when we design, we take care of the geographical context, directions like north and south, from which side you need to enter,
Yes.
from which side you can keep the puja room,
Okay.
and stuff like that. Then sun direction, wind directions,
Okay.
all of that matters, and we design accordingly. So we take care of all of these factors, and if some Vastu tips clients give us, and if we think it's ignorable, we ignore it, and we tell client that this is okay if we don't use this in our
So, you
design.
try to convince them. Okay.
And we also try to incorporate their ideas
and
about
suggestions. Yes,
Vastu.
okay.
A lot of it is also about, Vastu is more related to architecture than interior design. Like for example, if somebody says that okay, you put pyramids, in the flooring, all that we kind of don't believe in. But in architecture projects like wind direction, sun movement, all that is very essential. Like the fenestrations are designed accordingly in any house. Yeah, yeah.
What characteristics do you look for doing a mood boarding?
Okay, so the start of the project is a mood board. So we make kind of a mood board which according to client's choice. In mood board, we try to include all the materials, textured materials, flooring materials, and maybe a textured ceiling fabrics, all of that.
Okay. Priyanka, what are your thoughts on landscaping?
Yeah, landscaping or plantscaping is extremely important to liven up any space. No matter how beautiful you design the paneling or the colors in the room, just having one plant can change the whole appearance of the room. Like you can see here, like this is really livening up the space. So yeah, it is. We kind of so I'll give you an example. We had a project where our client was not very keen on keeping plants in his office space because he thought there'll be work regarding maintenance and all that. So what we did is a sneaky tactic. We gifted him a plant on his like vastu, the office vastu,
Okay.
like a housewarming, so office warming. So we
Yes.
gifted him a plant with a like pretty planter, and we were like, okay, you keep this in your office space. Then within a week, he was calling us like, where can I find buy this similar kind of planters? And now when we see pictures of his office, he's kept them at some places.
Okay.
Yeah.
That looked beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes you also have to educate your client, because they might not be aware that what difference this will make in your space. Yeah, they are always appreciative of it.
Other than this, Nirja, what other services do clients ask for?
So once the project is completed, it is not a neutral and. We there are so many maintenance happening over the time. So whenever client calls us for the numbers or contacts of the agencies or vendors, we provide them with that. And also if there is any design thing that or she needs to do later on, we help them out with that.
How and from where do you learn about new trends in this field?
Yeah, living in the internet age, it is extremely easy to access new trends at any given point of time. So that is one thing. Other than that, we attend a lot of seminars and workshops whenever they happen.
Okay.
So I've attended in the past 361 degrees and Frame Conclave, even Triple ID events here in Baroda. They invite architects from all over the world. It's not just local architects who are doing their work. So you get an idea of actually what is going on in practice, not just the glamorous images you see, but what is going on in the world. Yeah.
Okay. That's very nice thing that they are conducting many such things. at a
Yeah,
very
yeah. In fact,
large-
Triple ID Vadodara is excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are the platforms which enhance the creativity of the designers.
Yes,
Correct.
definitely. What are some of your biggest inspirations, Nirja?
So our inspiration starts from our childhood. But talking about the architecture of this field, when we start our college, our inspirations start coming up from that. So when I started going to college, Vadodara Design Academy, and the founder has built it in a locally available material,
Okay.
and which is sustainable material.
Okay.
So Nirav Hirpara, he is a founder of Vadodara Design Academy,
Okay.
and he has done an excellent job making the building. It is not a regular concrete and brick building. It was made of a brick and asbestos sheet. He used a Kota stone in a flooring. So these all earthy kind of materials which inspires us also. And also where I was working with Uday Andhare, he was working with lime concrete, lime mortar, lime bricks. So that makes me more inspired
Right,
to use
yes.
the natural
Natural
materials
material.
as a
Yes.
building
Wow.
materials.
You have a nice source of inspiration.
Thank you.
Priyanka, do you read magazines on a daily basis?
Yeah, well, not daily. Daily Netflix takes over, but but yeah, we do subscribe to a few magazines which really inspire us. I think our favorite ones are Domus.
Okay.
Then there is Inside by Matter,
Okay.
and also Surface Reporter by Wade India, from which we come to know about the work that women in architecture are doing in this field.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has benefited you a lot.
Definitely, yes, yes.
We have talked about life as an architect a lot, right? So would you like to please tell us a life outside architecture?
Yeah, so we hardly get some time because we are so
Especially when we are
busy.
chasing deadlines. Yeah.
Yeah, so being a woman, we have a good amount of domestic responsibilities, and it is difficult to maintain the balance between them. But we ensure that we spend some time with our family, and as I am a younger mother, I ensure that I spend some quality time with my child.
Shout out to Kai.
I'm curious to know, Priyanka, that how
Yeah.
do you spend your free time?
Yeah, okay. So not many people know this, but I am extremely passionate about baking desserts. Yeah, and I'm also pretty good at it, arguably.
It's yummy. You should have
would
tried
like to taste.
sometime.
Yeah, next interview for sure.
Definitely.
It is soon going to be on the shelf of bakery
Oh, is it?
in the coffee shops.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. I absolutely
you the
love
luck.
baking. Thank you so much. I've been baking, like, I find time to bake almost every weekend.
Okay.
Since the past maybe 7 or 8 years, I've been doing that. So I am a pro at it, you can say. So
Okay.
other than that, I like to work on my fitness. I don't look very fit right now, but I
You
do.
are.
I play a lot of sports. I pick up a sport at any particular point of time. Like currently, I'm playing basketball these days. Yeah. So I find time to do that as well.
What a life you have.
Thank you.
I want to know that are there any furnishing or decor items you absolutely love to use?
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, plants are like very important to liven up any space. Other than that, what usually here the trend we've seen is clients tend to neglect decor items,
Styling part of
styling
the-
part of the project, which is equally important. So we try and educate the client in terms of get some painting, some artwork, and we also help them select the artwork.
Okay.
And once they get it, of course, then they understand the value of it. Yeah.
They also love them.
Yeah, they love them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nirja, I want to know from you that what do you enjoy least about what you do?
Working with me.
No, no. That is the most favorite part of my routine. Meeting her every day. Even I meet her on Sundays sometimes. So there are a lot of mundane tasks we do in the office. So many of times we need to coordinate with the clients, with the agencies and vendors. So that is a bit boring work we need to do.
Okay. Yeah.
But we need to coordinating with all of them to make the project look the best.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when we have agencies who don't take responsibility, who tell you that okay, I'll come at 11 and they come at 4 p.m. That is that
It's
is
like
a bit
unprofessional architects, just like that, unprofessional agencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they don't meet the deadline sometimes.
Even if there is a site coordinator, we have found in our experience that there is a certain amount of coordination that we also need to do from our end. Sometimes we have to look for the site coordinator, like where are you, please? They don't pick up the phone.
Please be present.
Correct. Yeah. So that is the most mundane thing, like she said.
Nirja, what other job would you have opted if not this?
When I was a child, my dream job was to found out something like archaeological researchers
yes.
do. So
Okay.
if not this, I would go to the archaeological
Archaeological
department.
She would have been looking for mummies in Egypt or something.
Yeah, I love mysteries. I even watch mystery movies a lot.
Okay. What about you, Priyanka? What other job you would have opted?
So I think right now baking would be top one job.
Okay.
Other than that, I also enjoy writing a lot.
Oh, what
Yeah.
do you write?
I write short no poems. I write short stories, and in between I had won a competition hosted by Arc2O, which is like a global website, and I was one of the top winners from 573 applicants.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I got a chance for a 6-month internship with them as a critique of architecture and design.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So you even now, if you Google it, you can find my work on their page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surely I would be doing so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very curious to know that if there would be any advice to your younger self, what it would be.
Have a lot of patience.
Why so?
Yeah. See, in our project, in our field, as you know, every project takes a lot of time to finish. You know, there are a lot of setbacks. Like for example, there was a architecture project which we did recently. It's still not finished. It was supposed to end like 1.5 years ago.
Oh,
But because of COVID and agencies, so all those kind of setbacks you have to be prepared for, and you have to
face that.
yeah, and you have to have patience. There is no other way. Yeah.
I would like to add into this that if I give advice to my younger self, I would say just enjoy your life. Don't just focus on the studies. It will not work.
Okay.
So be happy, have some fun, read some books, watch some movies.
You both are working exceptionally well, and you are both are very talented. So
Thank
how
you.
is this industry treating women like you?
So luckily now we live in an era where there is equal opportunities. We wouldn't say like, oh, we are women and we don't get work. No, nothing like that. And in a place like Vadodara, you'd be very surprised to know is that we are getting work based on our skill set rather than our gender.
I'm very happy to hear this.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we consider ourselves very lucky that we are practicing over here. So there is equal opportunities for everybody to take.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both are very creative. So I have come up with a new thing. It's called a rapid fire round.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to take part in it? I do
do
have
it.
questions for you.
Let's
Should
do
we
it.
start? You have to be very fast, right?
Okay.
And you have to answer both. One thing you like about each other.
Hard work.
Her baking items.
Okay, baking items. Who is the mother of the company?
Priyanka.
I am.
Okay. Who is the boss lady of the company?
I am.
Priyanka.
Yeah.
One color you like.
Blue.
One color you like.
Blue.
That is our company color.
Okay. Funniest thing you expect from the client.
To make
To not-
excuses about not paying
Paying
us
us.
in time.
Okay.
We both agree.
Still mutual. If you could be fluent in any other language, what it would be?
Spanish.
Okay, you are not. Who out of all interior designer do you admire the most?
Dipen Gada.
Uday Andhare.
Okay. What is one thing you would never give up?
Architecture field. Not practicing.
You baking.
Baking.
You have to answer fast.
My creativity.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your signature style?
It's contemporary.
Minimal
and
for
modern.
me.
Okay. Art piece you love the most?
The Mona Lisa.
What about you?
Statue of Unity.
Okay. Who thinks about the money all the time?
Nirja.
Who gets happy faster by seeing the project?
Both of
Both
us.
of us.
Okay. That was wonderful rapid fire round.
Thank you.
And I'm getting to
Who
know
won?
that
Who won the rapid fire?
I am unable to decide because you both have similar choices.
Okay.
And,
We are so alike.
Definitely. So I want, as a last thing for this interview, that what is the advice you would give out to our audience? Could we start with you, Nirja?
So for advice for the students, we would like to say that please have some beforehand experiences in the field of architecture before starting your firm.
Yeah, please.
Okay. What about you? What you have to tell to our audience?
Yeah, so I think students, I would give the same advice. For clients, I would like to say, please be extremely transparent about your budget and your requirements, because it would really help the designers to kind of formulate your entire project.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they would inculcate this advice.
Yeah, we hope so.
You both are very passionate and creative person. It was fun pleasure talking to you. Thank
Likewise,
you.
we had so much fun answering
with
your
you.
questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of this journey.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for watching. We do have many such personalities lined up. Till then, stay creative, keep practicing.